Up until Operation Riptide, the M4A4 vs M4A1-S debate was kinda over, with the M4A4 taking a significant lead and very few players going to the A1S as it just really didn't compare. But with the recent changes, quote, adding increased body damage in the new update, the A1S is now a lot more viable than you may think. So we're going to talk about what exactly this update did to the gun and how it compares to the A4 now. So as always, if you do enjoy, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Help me get to 40k, I would appreciate it a lot. And right before we get into it, be sure to check out my sponsor, Skinport. Skinport is a CSGO marketplace that allows you to get CSGO skins for around 20 to 30% off the Steam market price. If you're looking for a clean new M4A1-S skin, you can get a factory new Hyper Beast for only $45, while on the Steam market they're currently going for $60. And of course, if you're looking to sell skins for real money, Skinport is great for that too. Only a 12% selling fee for items under $1,000, and for items over $1,000, that drops off to a 6% selling fee. And of course, they're completely safe and trustworthy with a 4.9 rating on Trustpilot. So be sure to sign up with that link in the description today and start saving money on skins. But for now, let's get right into the video. So first of all, how did damage numbers change specifically with the A1S? Well, according to the CSGO weapon spreadsheet, which you can find on Google by literally just looking up CSGO weapon spreadsheet, it now does a base 38 damage, which compares to the AK's 36 and the M4A4's 33. So it kills in 3 shots against unarmored opponents with body shots, which the A4 does not. It also has the same armor penetration as the M4A4 at 70%. So now we can take 30% off the base damage for both weapons, starting with the A1S's 38 damage, which tells us that it does 26.6 damage to armored opponents per body shot. And the A4's base damage of 33, it does 23.1 damage per shot to armored opponents. Now, this might not seem like a huge difference, it's only what, like 3 points of damage? Why does that matter? But this now means that the A1S kills in just 4 shots, while the A4 is still gonna take 5, assuming all these shots are body shots of course, but this is a huge difference. We also have to keep in mind that not only does the A1S kill in 1 shot quicker now, but it's also $200 cheaper than the M4A4. Tie this in with the fact that you can drop nades and you're gonna have a much easier time on CT side. 5 CTs on A1Ss is going to save you $1,000 per full buy, assuming you all have M4s. It's also going to get you a lot more nades hopefully and help you manage your economy much better. Obviously, we have to take into account as well that the A1S is just simply easier to use. The spray pattern is really tight on it, you barely have to move your mouse and you can pretty much just pull down and be set. Well, with the M4A4, even though you do have the faster fire rate, the same fire rate speed as the AK, it's much more difficult to spray. And you don't have to say, oh, I know the spray pattern, it's not that hard, you have 5,000 hours, you're just awful, you don't know how to play. Even though I may be, what am I, Gold Nova 2 with 5,000 hours, that is not what we're talking about here. You will whiff kills because the spray just doesn't go in your favor sometimes, no matter how good of a player you are with the A4. Of course, same thing could happen with the A1S because the spray is much tighter, and of course now the A1S kills in 1 less shot. That's going to remove the previous problem with it not killing fast enough, as you aren't going to have to hit an insta headshot with it just to kill in a raw one-on-one gunfight. You can now spam body shots. Once again, this isn't really a problem with the A4 because you can get bullets out a bit quicker, but now that the A1S is buffed, we're actually starting to see a bit of hope for this thing. Like, you aren't just gonna fire off what feels like 10 shots, but they fire off so slow and you have to hit somebody 5 times that it's not really that easy to win a gunfight. Now that you only have to hit somebody 4 times, it's definitely a lot easier against armored opponents. So I've obviously been kind of biased to the A1S so far, but what does the A4 have going for it compared to its new and improved counterpart? Well, as I previously mentioned, the faster fire rate is definitely one of the main reasons to stay on it. It's not like the gun is just suddenly awful and got nerfed, but Besides that, just 5 more bullets is the only other real main reason to stay on it. There's not too much I could argue against that. Obviously the A1S just has less bullets, but if it would be up to me, the A1S damage boost and simplicity of the long range spray of it is just way too big of a plus for me to keep using the A4 for now. You could argue that on close range maps, like let's say you're an Inferno B site player, that you should stay on the A4 for more ammo, plus the fights are close range so you don't have to worry too much about the spray pattern. But on the same token, you could argue that the A1S could be used to spam banana much easier since it doesn't show tracers. It's once again $200 cheaper, and of course the spray is just way easier, so you could kind of change which angles you play with the A1S and kind of take more of longer range fights because you should feel comfortable with it at a bit longer range. Once again, especially since it does kill in one less shot to the body against armored opponents as well, so it's definitely a lot easier to use now. You could also get into nitpicky stuff like, oh, the A4 has a shorter barrel so you don't have to worry about your gun sticking out, and bullet tracers through smokes are kind of nitpicky as well, as the A4 does have them. You can see when somebody with an A4 is spamming through the smoke, but since the A1S is silenced, you can't, so it's just kind of nitpicky stuff. That stuff doesn't really matter as much as the fire rate, damage, all that good stuff when it comes in the game, but it is something to mention. At the end of the day, personally, I am moving on to the A1S because this damage buff is just too good. You can spray so easily with the gun, it's not difficult to hit body shots, not too hard to hit a moving target, and if you're being rushed on an eco, you could say the A1S has less ammo, it'll be harder to kill, but now it kills in a bullet less. It's easier to spray transfer and it's just cheaper. CT economy is very annoying and you're very rarely in a comfortable position money wise, so saving every few $100s will add up. And even on a close range map like Inferno where you think the A4 could be favorable, you're just going to have extra nades to play with and can adjust your position with the A1S more. But besides all that, I think that does pretty much wrap it up for this video. It appears we've swung back to the A1S meta for the time being in my eyes, and it's going to be great to see how pros adjust to this whole thing. So as always, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new. Helping me get to 40k would be greatly appreciated, and of course, check out Skinport to start saving money on skins today. But for now, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.